A food from the sky point of view, obviously the relationship is critical because we provide the roof to grow the product on, but we also sell the product. So that's at its most basic level, if you want. I'll come back to the more deeper stuff in a minute. From Thornton's Budget's point of view, we are very much about, we are the local community supermarket that really cares. So we are involved in the community. We're also really interested in re-engaging people with food. So, you know, food has become so industrialised, mass-produced, and people are disconnected with it. So we do a lot of work with small producers, with a lot of tasting, samplings, and getting small food companies coming in and talking about their food and how they produce it and so on. And local companies. So the logical extension about that is, well, why don't we produce our own food? And urban agriculture is going to be more and more important. We hardly grow any food in cities, and as we go into the future, there's a strong view that urban agriculture is going to be critical. So for us, we're bringing our food message. We're actually connecting people with food by helping volunteers growing food on the roof of the store, which we then harvest and sell downstairs, and then the money, we don't take any income from that, it goes straight back into the roof. So it's a full cycle. So we are engaging and working with our community. Everybody who comes on the roof learns about food growing, and then has the ability to do that themselves. So I know it may sound a bit strange as saying a supermarket encouraging people to grow their own food, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, it would be amazing if all our customers grew some of their own fruit and vegetables. That would be, you know, it's a very rewarding thing to do, and it's a very sustainable way to look at the future. The broader aspect of this is with our team. It's a beautiful space, as you will see if you've been there or seen the pictures. So people come up there just lunchtime on a sunny day. We have meetings up there. We have a number of people team members who volunteer, so on their day off will come and work on the roof. They're involved in the harvesting process. So the guy who runs our fruit and vegetable department downstairs is the only supermarket fruit and vegetable department manager in the world who has its own farm, basically. So, which is pretty amazing, really. So there's a huge amount of benefits. You know, last year we had an area of the garden called the Garden of Bangladesh, because Bangladesh is our biggest community. We've more people in the company from Bangladesh than any other country in the world. This year it'll be the Garden of Sri Lanka, which is our second biggest grouping. And basically, for those people, it's an opportunity to grow produce from their home country here, and then sell it, and the proceeds then go back to their own community here in London. If you're in a community and you know of a supermarket that's got a flat roof, then I think you need to go and approach the supermarket. We are talking to a few of the bigger chains, and that's really interesting. It's early days yet, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. But if you're in a community and you happen to be based, I don't know, in Bristol or somewhere, it's about establishing which supermarkets in your area have a flat roof. If they're independently owned like we are, then that's much easier, because you can, the owner lives in the community, you can approach that person and have a discussion with them. If it's a chain, it's more difficult because the local people have no autonomy. So it's much more difficult, but it's not impossible. And you could engage the owner of the store then with this template, with these showing him or her how it would work, the model that could be used, and really sort of take it from there. The operation of Food from the Sky is very separate from the supermarket. I think that's really important. It's one, you know, selling food is one thing, growing food is another thing. It's a different skill set. So the community, so Food from the Sky very much manages the food growing aspect. In terms of the process thereafter, there's a harvest every Friday. That is done by the Food from the Sky team. As I said, I encourage my guys to kind of get involved. And there's a point whereby the product's harvested, bagged up, labelled and priced, and that's the point when it kind of gets handed across to my guys then, who are responsible for kind of making sure it's sort of merchandised and just managed through. I mean, in terms of the stock management, it's not really an issue. It tends to sell out incredibly quickly, so we have no waste. The product keeps remarkably well. The salad leaves, which are the core of what we do, keep remarkably well for quite a long time actually. But normally speaking, they're gone. The harvest goes out at lunchtime on Friday and is normally gone by sort of sometimes end of Friday, maybe sort of lunchtime Saturday. And then we just keep track of the stock through our system, and then Food from the Sky invoices Thornton's Budgeons for the retail value of everything. There's no profit margin taken by Thornton's Budgeons on anything we sell for Food from the Sky. So the full, if you buy a bag of salad leaves for $1.39, then that $1.39 goes back to Food from the Sky. Well, I mean, Food from the Sky, the model we have it, I believe, works here. We need to make it sustainable financially, so not dependent on grant money, so we can actually secure the long-term viability of Food from the Sky. Here, I think that the main vision for the next few years is to encourage other people to do the same thing, be that individual sites and or some of the chains. So that will be a lot of our focus and energy, as well as just continuing to refine the model, having volunteers, more people learning, more training, more people learning about food growing, and just, it is an inspiration to people. It has been an inspiration all the way around the world. There's people looking at similar things in other countries, and we will continue to do that. The sustainability is a hugely important part of our remit, if you want. We don't have it's woven through who we are. So we don't have a corporate social responsibility department or paper, it's just, it's what we do basically. And yes, because of, it's a critical part of that, inspiring people to do things differently, to have food, retail food growing as part of the community. So it's a really important part of it, and it's critical. Think of it, if you look at it from a hard commercial point of view, it's generated an enormous amount of PR. Our customers love it. They love the fact that they can buy products at midday on a Friday that are literally being plucked out of the ground less than an hour ago. It's pretty amazing. Anywhere else in the world you can have such fresh products. And they like the innovation, the creativity and the use of space. I mean, this was a dead space. We were doing nothing. It was just completely empty. So it's like, claiming back something that's been lost. And I think it's so in line with our values. It reinforces to customers that how important our values for a more sustainable future are. Because Food from the Sky it just fits so well with our values as a company.